welcome to Lazy Acres Natural Market in Utensils, California. I'm Chef Isabelle, and today we're going to make just like this nice fall treat. They're really easy to grab. We're going to make protein ball, but we're going to kind of infuse it with these pumpkin spice and a little bit of pumpkin puree. So a lot of good vitamin, beta-carotene for the little ones, for the eyes if they're on Zoom. School, it's an easy grab, good for their eyes, and easy to make. So let's get the little one involved if you can. You just need a bowl and a spoon, and we can roll a nice motor skill for the little ones too, okay? So hopefully everybody washed their hands really quick, and we're gonna review all the ingredients, okay? So let's do this together. All right, so we are in need of a almond butter. If you have cashew butter, sunflower butter will be a little too soft for this recipe, but you can always use a peanut butter. But I think almond butter it suits better to go with pumpkin. We're gonna do 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree. See all this color? That means there's a lot of beta-carotene, same thing that's in carrots, good for your eyes, good for your retinate and all that stuff, okay? Good for your skin. Some chia seed, some coconut oil right here. So I like to soften it up a little bit, so it's like this, okay? More like a buttery texture. I'm gonna use 2 to 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. If you want to use honey or agave, that's a good option for it too. Some pumpkin spice. So this smells like pumpkin pie. If you don't have any, you can add a little bit of ginger, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg would be a good combination, okay? Some instant oat. Again, if you don't have instant oat, you can use rolled oat, but it's gonna have more of a crunchy texture to our protein balls today. Almond flour, okay? Do not use coconut flour for this. Coconut flour absorbs way too much moisture and it's gonna be really dry. So you wanna use almond flour, which almond flour is only almond that's been ground into a really like floury texture, so like very fine. Okay, salt, and if you wanna use some chocolate chip, this is a vegan version and they're kind of mini. They're good to roll, so I like to use this. All right, so it looks like we have a lot of ingredients, but it's literally one bowl recipe and it's really easy to put together, okay? So I'm gonna move this to the side. We're gonna start combining everything. And again, if you're taking pictures today, feel free to tag us, and it's right down below our Instagram tag. So if you take pictures, I would love to see what you're doing at home, okay, with the little ones. All right, let's start with the wet ingredients. That's how I like to start making these. So I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of almond butter. And again, you can use whatever you want. Cashew butter will be good too because it doesn't have like a strong flavor like a peanut butter. I'm gonna use 1/4 cup of our pumpkin puree right here. It's pretty color. We are going to use 1/4 cup of, let's use a 3 tablespoons of sweetener. And again, you can use agave, maple syrup, or honey. Trying not to make as many dirty dishes. I like to using like as much as I can on the measuring cup without having to use 5 of them. So that's 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And what the coconut oil do in this recipe, once you refrigerate those, the coconut oil kind of solidify a little bit, and it has like the texture of a truffle, you know, chocolate truffle. So if you like this texture, you can add more or less of the coconut oil. All right, because it's gonna harden again. So I'm just gonna mix our wet ingredients here. See, it's like a big mush. And this is a good recipe for the kids to do even alone. You can do that at 2 years old, 5 years old, and with help and measuring. And it's a good motor skills. And this is no cross-contamination, meaning there's no raw egg, there's nothing raw here. So they can just be fully on into this. We're gonna add some chia seeds. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of chia seed. We are going to use our pumpkin spice here. So I have about a teaspoon. And again, if you like it more or less, you can just commit to use a little bit less for this recipe. All right, so moving things around right here. You can smell, it smells like pumpkin pie right now. so I'm moving all this. We are going to use, let's say, ooh, I'm spilling the chocolate chip. I'm going to use a cup of, put a spoon in here, a cup of almond flour, like this. Sorry, trying to not spill the flour everywhere. So I'm going to use a cup of our almond flour, maybe a little bit more because I didn't push it down. And then a quarter of a cup of instant oat, like this. And I'm going to wait to add my salt because I don't like adding the salt right away because I like to keep the salt crunchy for these. So you add these little salty packets. And when you add your almond flour, be sure to pack it down because that's what Chef Isabelle didn't do because it was a crust, and I'm just going to add a couple more. All right. So pack your almond flour really good. And this would solidify because of the coconut oil, remember? Because we softened it up a little bit. All right, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt or 2 big pinch. And I like to use coarse salt so you have these crunchy pocket of salt. And chocolate chip. So if you want to, you don't need to. Add a handful. So these are not too sweet either. All right. So now this is the fun part. I'm gonna roll those into little balls. You don't want to make them too big, you want them bite-sized, so it's like a nice protein snack for the little one. So I'm gonna roll, hands are washed right here. You see right here? Like this. So we can use like a teaspoon, so they kind of all even the same size. They're like a 2-bite. Those are great for the kids if they like pumpkin, anything pumpkin spice or pumpkin pie. These are great. So these will at least make a dozen teaspoon size protein ball. At least a dozen. But you can stretch them as big as you want. And again, if you like them a little bit more crunchy, instead of using instant oat, just add the roll oat for this. Okay? So I'm going to keep on rolling today. I'm going to show you guys on the camera. And again, I just want to be sure that you guys are packing the flour down so it's not too loose. It's a full cup. Okay? All right, one more and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay? Right here. So look right here. Right here. And they're going to solidify because of the coconut oil. So they'll get like that truffle texture once they're refrigerated. You can also freeze these. Keep them on standby. So if you make a big batch, and it's a great thing to bring when you go camping or when you have sports or anything like that with the little ones. All right, so thanks for joining us today. Chef Isabelle right here from Lazy Acres National Market in Encinitas, California. And I'm glad you guys are making one of our fall favorite or protein pumpkin balls. All right, have a good day. Thank you.